What up, guys? It's Mike Salone, DJ Access from Buckeye Sounds Entertainment and Live Access Entertainment. A little bit about us before we get started. Buckeye Sounds Entertainment is located in Columbus, Ohio. We do events all around the Midwest. We specialize in weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and school dances. Live Access Entertainment, we are a little more local in Columbus, Ohio. We specialize in Ohio State University events as well as bars and clubs. But enough about that. You're here to learn about DJ equipment. This is going to be shot in 3 separate video segments. We're going to do a what is this stuff video, we're going to do a how do you set this stuff up, and then we're going to do a how do you operate these things. So look forward to that. This is the what is this stuff video. We're just going to take you on a tour of our showroom a little bit, show you the different chords, the different aspects that goes into a DJ setup, so that you can get to DJing as soon as possible. This video is aimed at anyone who's in the DJ industry, so that if you work in a bar and DJ asks you to hand them an XLR cable, you know exactly what they're talking about. So without further ado, we're going to get started. We're going to start off with some speakers, move back to the mixing console, and then we'll show you some chords and other things like that. So let's get to it. Alright guys, first thing we're going to talk about today is some speakers. Behind me we have what we call our mid-highs and our subwoofers. The mid-highs are responsible for the mid and high frequency ranges, so anything that has to do with singing or like the snare from a drum, that's what this guy's really good at. Below it is our subwoofer. This is responsible for all the low sounds that you might hear in the music. When people say they can feel the music, they're usually talking about the kick that comes out of the subwoofer. How we have this mounted today is with a piece of stick that Yorkville gave us. We also can mount it on a tripod that you see right here. Yeah, that's it. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is our mixers and our decks. We refer to our decks as anything used to play music. You can usually identify them by the play button and the Q button, which is kind of like the stop button. Decks can come in the form of turntables, CD players. In this case, these are hard drive players where we can search the hard drive of the computer and kind of see what music we want to play. Up here we have our mixing console. You notice that by the amount of faders and then the crossfader. Basically what's controlling the volume levels and the equalization levels. We'll get into a little bit more of that when we get into the how do you operate this stuff video. But for now, all you really do know is that the decks are the things that you use to play music, and the mixer is the things that kind of controls the volume and the how the decks sound. Alright, the amplifiers are the piece of equipment that are responsible for making the sound louder once it gets the signal from the mixer. The amplifiers will usually have volume knobs on them and an on-off button and plugs in the back where you can connect your speakers and your mixer cables. Next, I'm going to talk about some of the chords that we use at Buckeye Sounds and Live Access Entertainment, and some of the chords that you're going to see when you're DJing and working with other DJs. The first of which is a speak-on cable. These are responsible for connecting the amplifier to the speakers and then speakers to other speakers. So instead of having a bunch of cords running out of the amplifier, you can run one continuously long cord to all your speakers. The next cord is our lighting cord. It looks exactly like a speak-on cable, except it's a little bit larger, and it connects our lights that you saw earlier. Last one is an XLR cable. The XLR cable does a bunch of stuff. It can connect speakers to other speakers. It can connect amplifiers to other speakers. It does some lighting. If you ever hear of MIDI, it sends MIDI signals as well. Microphone cable. It's a little bit of everything. And it's a very common tool. You can usually identify it by the 3 prongs and a triangle. That's an XLR cable and does a bunch of stuff. Okay. Other cords and connectors you might see around Buckeye Sounds and Live Access Entertainment are 1/4-inch cables and cords and connectors, 1/8-inch cables, cords and connectors, and then RCA cables, cords and connectors. The way to identify a 1/4-inch cable is basically that it's larger than an 1/8-inch cable, and your 1/8-inch cable is your standard headphone jack for your iPod, your computer, anything like that, and the 1/4-inch cable is just a little bit larger and is usually used in a mixing console to go to some professional grade headphones as well as microphones. The RCA cable, you've probably seen all kinds of these in your home theater systems. They're usually the red and white cables. They also, if you ever have a stereo system that you're trying to run your iPod out of, you'll usually see an 1/8-inch jack coming out of your iPod into these 2 RCA cables, which are usually identified by red and white. All these cords and connectors have a male and female end, and hopefully I don't have to explain to you which one's male and which one's female. But Yeah, those are the cords and connectors that we use. And that's going to be it for our What Is This Stuff video. Make sure you stay tuned for how you set this stuff up and how do you operate this stuff video. Good luck to all my new DJs out there, and if you want to check us out, it's BuckeyeSounds.com and LAEDJs.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.